Well, hello, we're going live.
How are you today? Oh, I can see.
And we'll be right there. Well, hello. We're here.
Hi,
It's Jamie Ann.
Sarah.
And we are here on a special edition of Live with Bottleneck. This is called a Week in Review with, I think it was Sammy and Jera. And so this comes every Friday at around the 10 o'clock Central. And basically what we do is we kind of do a week in review. We talk about our week, what happened. We get to show you the stains on our shirts. Somewhere around there. There it is. And so now you're going to be watching that stain, aren't you? And then we talk about some of the things that we have coming up, some of the challenges that we've overcome. And I don't know, we just goof around for 20 minutes or so.
Yep.
And today we're going to be talking about, isn't life beautiful?
It is.
It is beautiful. So Richard Branson writes these posts, but he has people kind of say, hey, what would you like to hear about? And this person said, I'd like to hear about how you work with your family, and because he's obviously going all over the place. And his story started out about when he was really young and his kids were born. He was out testing some sailboat, doing this Atlantic crossing or something, and the sailboat crashed and sank or something. And he found out that his wife was giving birth or something to their second child or something like that. So he said he just left the boat, and I don't know if it sank, but it broke. And he just left the boat and flew away to the hospital in England. And he was there in a picture with still sitting there with his boating clothes on, holding the new baby, and the other is his son, who's now grown up and apparently has turned into a pretty cool young fella. But he says, family's everything to him, and he still does all of this stuff. And now his daughter does something with one of his companies, and his son does something with one of his companies, and they're really involved and they really enjoy it. And so he loves working with it. And then one of the things that he said, that his father said, that he'll never forget is his father would talk to him. He goes, isn't life beautiful? And he said that always resonated with him. And I thought, that's kind of a cool thing, because if you get all done in the doldrums and you're just blah and not do anything and down in the dumps, even saying that, isn't life beautiful, kind of makes it sunny outside. See, it just got sunny outside.
It perks you up.
It does. But if you think about it, life's pretty freaking cool. Like, it doesn't always have to be, just take a moment, smell the roses. That's the whole thing. Isn't life beautiful? Isn't business beautiful? Isn't vacation beautiful? So take a look at it like that, and just kind of throw a different twist or a different perspective on there. Obviously we're not, trying to be business coaches or influence you or any way, but just I think it's something kind of neat. So if you get a chance, just kind of say that. Say it out loud. Say it out loud, Sarah. How does that make you feel?
Isn't life beautiful?
You can't say it without not smiling.
I know, I tried. I was like,
it's pretty cool. So isn't life beautiful? So taking that in kind of the tone moving forward, what made beautiful business? What made business so beautiful this week?
I have become much more involved in more than just the payroll and bookkeeping aspect of the company, and I'm getting energized by it, because I wasn't energized because I hate numbers, unfortunately, but I'm filling a position that needs to be filled.
How many of you love making videos out there? I hear this one in the other room giggling, not making the video, editing a video. And first of all, editing a video. And I hear her laughing and giggling. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, making a video. So she was having a fun time editing a video.
Yeah. So during our meetings on Wednesday, our company-wide meetings on Wednesday, we talk about our wins, our personal wins, and maybe if we have any questions for the rest of the team, because the teams meet separately to go over operational aspects of each team. So, and the person that presents weekly has to do a training video. And I do payroll and bookkeeping, and that's super boring. So I thought, how can I make this exciting? So I'm having so much fun with it. And anyway, that's why I'm giggling. And I got up this morning and I've been working hours on it. And there's other things I could be doing, but it's kind of inspirational. It's going to be fun, and I can't wait for next Wednesday.
See, taking into consideration life is beautiful, business is beautiful. And I had a wonderful conversation yesterday. If you didn't get it, go check it out yesterday. We talked about creativity, and I didn't really think about creativity in the way that it's Dr. Caroline Brookfield is her name. She said, just call her Caroline, but she was a former veterinarian, I guess. Yeah, former veterinarian. She's still a veterinarian. She still knows everything, but now she's doing some creativity coaching. And I thought, okay, creativity coaching, yeah, it should be all right. Well, then you think about it. Everything you do can be creative. You can make dinner, make it in a creative way. We talk about brushing our teeth with the left hand, being creative, activating other thoughts, other lessons to kind of learn a little bit. She's so creative. She goes out of her shell. She's up there in Canada, Calgary, or some people call it Calgary. But go listen to that episode. It's really interesting to listen to her perspective. And she talks about how she's really, because I believe you need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? So always be uncomfortable. And that pushes you in that creative environment, that place of something new. It's not necessarily about painting a picture, although I painted a picture before, and with her whole family, we surprised her for her birthday, and that was extremely fun. There was no way we were not smiling after that we were having a good time. But it's not just about making dinner or painting a picture. It's about pretty much all aspects of your life and being creative. Now, you take, for instance, what she's doing there with her video editing and things like that and giggling. She's creating something new. She's using muscles, memory muscles, whatever they are, that perhaps she hadn't used in a while or hadn't engaged in a while or had never used. And so when you're looking at making things beautiful in business and things like that, challenge yourself. Be creative, because you feel like you're going through the same old all the time. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do this. Try to do the different things that need to get done in your business differently. So yeah, I just think it's really, really powerful. So I'm proud of her for sticking on the editing part. And I'm even more excited that she was laughing. That makes my heart smile.
Yeah. And we got creative. We've had some team meetings. So I met with just our recruitment team. What's M's title? I can't remember.
She is the I can't remember either. Wait. Yeah. Talent acquisition coordinator.
Okay. So anyway, M's and I had a meeting without her manager, who's Rach. And I just wanted to get her perspective on what she goes through to find what her bottlenecks are without any input from anybody else. So she could just be totally focused on what she does. And I found one. And, so I was like, okay, so I need to find out more about how I can make this easier. So it's how she uses LinkedIn. So then that led to us, I started doing research on that, and it led to us looking at more opportunities when we got together with the sales team. And then we got together separately with the entire recruitment team and went through the process, and we found out where the bottleneck was and what we needed to do. So I volunteered and I got in to help with this. And while I'm helping with it, I'm discovering new things. And I'm famous for going down wormholes. So I tend to spin my wheels a lot, but this is being very productive, and I'm not spinning my wheels. This creativity is becoming productive and not just busy work. I guess that explains it. But I'm having so much fun solving problems.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of what has to do with it. This week, you know, I decided not to focus on the challenges this week because typically we would have a lot of challenges, and I'm not even going to ask what challenges we've experienced this week. I'm going to ask how much fun did we have this week, and instead of the challenges, just insert fun so that we can kind of change it up a little bit and be a little bit more creative about this. I think try and do something in your next business meeting or your next meeting with anybody, a client or prospect or friend or whomever it is. Just try something a little bit different. So what I did this week is I got a ton done this week. This was an extremely productive week for me. And thanks to the team at Andrew Muller Creative, both Andrew and Fiona, they've been instrumental in helping us with our, we're for the first time ever doing a paid advertising campaign. So it's kind of exciting, but it's flipping expensive. I mean, inexpensive. It is not cheap, but sorry, Andrew, sorry, Fiona, but it's not cheap. But it's good.
It's all relative.
It is. It is all relative. But that's part of me being uncomfortable doing something that I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to end up out there. So it's really exciting because we're doing this video, and we're having a ton of fun with this thing. And what's cool is I've had a couple different meetings with them, and we just sit there and go through it, and we talk about it. And what if I say this, or what if I say this? Okay, this. And it's really neat to get that minute or get into the minutia that much, because I think the end product, people are going to see that I really care. And what's more, Andrew and Fiona really care. And that's how you know you have good relationships, when both the parties are working really hard towards a goal, because both parties want to see that succeed. Now, in transparency, yes, we both stand to gain financial incentives out of this, of course. That's what business is about. But it's nice to see someone working together in a common goal, and people from different perspectives offering different ideas. Again, it's challenging your conditional mindset that in new and exciting ways, aka it's creative. So just kind of neat. So that's one of the things that I've been working on. How about you?
Well, what I talked about, but what was another thing that was exciting, we had a challenge turned into a challenge, and Jamie took a negative and has made it completely a positive.
Yeah, is that with the client?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had a client, and I won't share names, but this client there were several factors, I think, that went into this one, but I was genuinely concerned for this outcome. I didn't want to see that happen. So we had a nice conversation. We were blessed to have this person hop on the phone with us. We didn't know if this person was going to show. And we were able to talk through it and kind of work through some things. Now I have a lot of work on my end that I need to do to get done to make this right for this person. But it just goes to show that if you do truly care about the outcomes, people will see that. People are not dumb. As a matter of fact, people are really intelligent, and they pick up on the BS, and they pick up on, it's easy for someone to start something new and to quit. What really inspired me about this conversation is, even though someone started this and it was challenging, extremely challenging for them, they didn't quit. And that was super impressive for me. And being able to work through that together again, I could see kind of a similar relationship building there that I have with Muller Creative. And so I thought, that was pretty cool. And it was this was a challenge. I mean, it was not just an ordinary kind of deal. It was a doozy. And so yeah, I'm glad we got it worked out. It's not totally done yet, but at least we have some direction. We have some goals, some objectives that we need to accomplish, some dates that we need to get it done with, and I'm confident in our ability as a team to kind of pull through this and make it happen for this person. I think they're going to end up being extremely happy. And it was neat to see in the email, this person wrote, I look forward to a long relationship with you guys, as opposed to what happened 3 or 4 days prior, 2 days prior. You guys are terrible. Yeah. So yeah, it really worked out good.
Yeah. And he came out of his meeting and I couldn't wait to hear how it went, what the next steps were. And he was excited when he came out of his meeting. So he took the challenge, he took it as a challenge and turned it into a positive.
Yep.
And I took some of the things that were issues we were seeing between DA and client. And I've decided to create some courses, and I'm doing research now to find certification courses that we will provide free of charge to any of our DAs that apply with, go through the complete application process and apply with us. And then if they see job postings that, oh, I need to be an expert in this, or I need to be able to know how to do this, they can take a course. They can look, we have a menu, everything for all software platforms,
we're not going to charge them either. What they will have to do is they'll have to complete our hiring process. There's 10 different videos they have to go through, and then, or there's 9 different videos they have to go through, and then they have to take a 25 question exam to make sure that they, good grammar and good, are responsible, and they do all this stuff and follow directions, and they fill out, a application and things like that. So there is some hurdles they have to overcome before they get there, but we're covering the cost for all of this. They're not covering any of that, which is pretty exciting. And what's nice is, since we can't be everything to everybody, they can get a nice foundational understanding of whatever software tools, whatever it is that particular client is using, so that they can be more of a better fit. It's more of a customized match.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm excited for it, because anytime they can put certified in on their CV or resume, that's a bonus. And be able to talk intelligently about it, because many times clients come to us and they say, we use this and this. We're not familiar with it ourselves. We don't know everything. And somebody that knows a CRM, they say they know CRM. Which one?
Yeah.
And in the interview process, that, maybe ask, okay, are you familiar with CRM? Yes, I've worked with blah, blah, blah before. But maybe they just know the basics. And maybe the client is expecting some expertise in that. So it's just a way to increase everybody's skill set.
So my advice for you, if you're hiring somebody, especially from the Philippines, kudos, by the way, whether you're hiring through us or through someone else, that's fine. Obviously, get you going. But check to see if they have a DDA certification. That's what I would recommend. If they don't have a DDA dedicated distant assistant certification, make sure that they have some form of certification. That's really, really going to help out. And that goes for even our clients. Make sure that our assistants are DDA certified. It's very important. DDA certification, dedicated distant assistant certification. Because that's going to let you know that these people have gone through at least the basic concepts of being an extremely good personal assistant. Now, if you're talking about graphic designers and things like that, it's also good that they go through the DDA certification, but it's not going to be as relevant or relative to their particular roles. Now, we're going to have some additional training courses that people can go through. But if you're looking for graphic designers, you still want them to have these foundational understandings, because a lot of them, like we have check-in policies and procedures, right? A big concern is trust factor with people when they hire somebody on a distributed workforce, remote location, especially, in Philippines or whatever, because how do I know they're really working when they say they're working? Well, we don't do time tracking here. We feel that's a form of micromanagement. So we do check-in policies and procedures, and we have a specific way of doing that. And if your assistant is not trained in some form of check-in policies and procedures, then how in the world are you going to know? You're going to have time tracking. And then the other thing we hear when we used to have time tracking is, why did it take you 4 hours to write this email? Right? So then you start getting all these questions in your head, and it's actually so much more unproductive than it is to be productive. So even the graphic designers, web developers, whatever it is that you're looking for, if they don't have this DDA certification where they go through and they actually do the check-in policies and procedures, paid time off, holiday schedules, because a lot of times us as business leaders, we're so busy. How the heck can we remember all of these different things that we need to do? What happens if your assistant gets sick? What happens if they've been working with you for 2 years and God forbid they go on vacation? Oh my gosh. What are you going to do? What plans do you have in place? Your assistant gets trained in ways to support you on this so that they can lay out your 2 weeks while they're gone. This is what I'm doing. These are all the things I need to do. Workflows. Oh my gosh. They get trained in workflow management. Who else does this? Nobody. So that's why this DDA certification is so important. Seriously, make that imprinted in your brain, DDA certification. And the reason why is because it's going to make your life a lot better if you bring somebody in with those basic foundations. Now, the other thing that I will say is a lot of people try to, we've talked about the golden goose before, but even then, and you're more than welcome to chime in anytime about that. Even if you have a specific role, good for you, because that's what you want to do. You want to have a specific role. Even in that specific role, if they don't have these basic understandings of how to communicate with you, and they know all of these different, this was part of the problem that we had with the really upset client this week, is that the assistant knew some graphic design, but they used different software than the client wanted them to use, and they didn't want to use this new software because they used this other software. Well, we can alleviate all of that from happening. And by the way, we can also help you. We can help you sort through the candidates so that you find somebody that's a right fit for you, and not just hire to hire. So that's another thing that I'm going to be addressing with this particular client. We're going to work on ways of sourcing candidates going to be a better fit for them.
Yeah, and another important thing is you've got to ask questions. You've got to
trust your gut.
Yes, trust your gut. So if someone says they are familiar with HubSpot, well, there's a lot of aspects to HubSpot. What do you need them to be familiar with? So if they say, "Oh, I know HubSpot," and you say, "Oh, you know HubSpot," that can mean different things. Or you say, "I need a social media manager." Okay, so what does that mean to you? What are they just posting to your Facebook, or are they have to be creative and create the posts, or are they going to be doing analytics? There's so much to it, and there's so much to it. And you've really got to delve into the questions. You've got to be really specific about what your actual needs are, and you can't be general because software and everything online is so varied.
Yep. It's all over the place. And so another thing that we're doing to help people out is to avoid the golden goose. So this was another challenge that I'm going to have to figure out a solution to, which means I got a lot of work probably this weekend. I have to make sure that we're not over-promising and under-delivering. And what somebody's perception is of what versus what our perception is, speaking about a client, bottleneck client relationship, what they perceive to be is true. Doesn't matter what we think. What they perceive to be is true. And this goes for anybody in any business. When you're talking about a product or service, And this typically happens a lot with sales, right? So when you're selling something, it's all pink elephants and lemonade. And then when you give them the actual product, well, the pink elephant takes a dump every once in a while, right? So we don't want to share that on the on the front side of everything. But at the same time, we don't want to underpromise. I'm sorry, overpromise and underdeliver. And you can curb a lot of that in the beginning by talking about the limitations of your product or service. And a lot of people on the sales side of things are afraid of hitting limitations. I, on the other hand, I actually love talking about the limitations. This is what we don't do, right? As opposed to this is what we do. This is this and this and this and this. Well, no, we don't do that, and we don't do that. We can't be afraid of saying no. We don't do something. I know we all want to get more business, but if you're going to get business that's going to bite you in the rear in the end, or step in that proverbial pink elephant's crap, you're setting yourself up for failure. And you're spend so much time working on challenges post-sale, post-close, than you are where you could be out spending your time developing more business.
Mhm.
Now, no matter what, I don't know anybody that's going to have a problem. Steve Jobs, fired from Apple, came back from Apple, over $1 billion in debt when he came back. That was a big pink elephant's scat, whatever you want to call it, huge. And so things happen. Two things happened there. He came up with the iMac,
Mhm.
the iPhone, the iPod, and the other thing is every single department had their own P&L, and they were still losing $1 billion a year, or whatever it was. And I'm almost positive it was over $1 billion a year. Every single department they had their own, they were responsible for their own P&L. So guess what? Oh yeah, our P&L, we have a profit here, profit here. How can every freaking department have a profit and the company's losing $1 billion? So he cleaned all of that out, and he did one P&L for the entire company. The engineers did not, they built the products. They didn't set the pricing, and they didn't talk to the pricing. The pricing, they didn't tell engineers what to build, but they set the pricing, and they didn't talk to each other, right? One P&L, all of Apple. Guess what? It's the first $1 trillion company in the world now. So you have to kind of take the good with the bad. Know there's going to be challenges, but minimize the challenges. Be creative. Try something new for the first time, and start talking about your limitations.
Mhm.
People will appreciate that. I promise you.
Yeah, and ask people.
Yeah.
Ask people for input. It's so great, like brainstorming. I love brainstorming sessions. It's just you get a different perspective because you can get stuck in how you're thinking and you can't get off of it and you can't see the big picture. You see it from your skewed point of view. So I love brainstorming sessions.
Sales should be brainstorming, by the way.
Mhm. Oh, absolutely. I never thought of it that way. I'm sales adverse.
No, you're not. You just did.
It hurts my brain.
She just did sales. Do you guys see what she just did? That's sales, right? Brainstorming, talking, and so sales, instead of sales, they should call it education.
Oh, I love that.
I'm an education specialist, right? You really could. And it's all about, like she said, brainstorming. What does brainstorming start off with?
A problem.
A question, right? A question. Yeah, usually. Yeah, you're right. It starts off with a problem, or maybe not necessarily a problem, but kind of a wonder.
Yeah,
right. I wonder if.
Yeah. How do we? What do we?
Yeah.
When do we?
Yep. But the very next thing to come out is a question.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be, oh, we can help you do this. No.
Boring. Bye-bye.
Yep. Seriously. I have a problem. I'm so overworked and overwhelmed. Have you ever considered looking into getting someone to help you?
What do you hate? What are you overwhelmed with?
What are you overwhelmed with?
Yeah. What of it do you hate? Is it emails? Is it, do you
kind
hate,
of unpack that, right?
Do you hate lunch? Do you hate your chair?
Yep.
You never know. It could be anything.
Yeah. So I think to say, isn't life beautiful? Isn't business beautiful? I think it's all about, as a matter of fact, this what she brought up and with the client and all that, isn't that beautiful? What happened afterwards?
Mm-hmm.
We took the situation that was pretty volatile, someone extremely disappointed. I would even go so far as to say upset. And because we cared enough to listen tinfully and soulfully, to engage nobly, because we cared enough to listen, and we cared enough to really see what the challenges were and tried the best we could do to empathize with the situation by putting our feet in their shoes. We were able to kind of diffuse, put the fire out. Now the flames are still kind of there. So we've got the fire truck there with the hoses, making sure it's not going to come back up. But still, we saved the barn from burning down, basically.
Yeah. And do you know what's going to become of this? She's going to be a better business leader within her company, and you're a better business leader within your company.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything is about learning. And like you said, get out of your comfort zone, try new things. And what do you do when you try new things? You learn. Did that work? Did it not work?
Yeah.
I love that. I can't wait to see how that works out for you.
And I think she's going to become an advocate for the company. This person
Yeah.
is going to become an advocate for the company. So, what's coming up?
Memorial Day weekend. So, we don't pay for SiriusXM, but it's free in the truck right now. And so I was listening to it, and SiriusXM is giving every one of their DJs the weekend off, and they've pre-recorded everything. They've asked the listenership for input of what they want to hear, and everybody gets a 3-day weekend. Isn't that amazing? That's what
this is actually pre-recorded. We're in Belize right now.
No.
By the way, if you're on the Bottleneck team, you're off. Don't work. You don't have to work.
Yep.
We'll see how many people are watching.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I think it's fantastic. And I'm excited. And we can't wait till Tuesday and Monday to start hearing what everybody did. And we hope they did something exciting, and we're able to have a good time this weekend with friends and family.
Yay!
That's what we're going to do.
We sure are. So,
what do you have to do about that? What's that?
Learn how you can break through the bottleneck in your business today by visiting bottleneck.online/TV. You can also go to bottleneck.online/BTV for Bottleneck Television. Please do so. It gives you a little bit of an insight as to what we do here. If you go to bottleneck.online/TV, that's our YouTube channel, but it's hundreds of videos there. If you go to bottleneck.online/BTV for Bottleneck Television, you can see some of our what we think are some fun shows. So we put up a couple, so you get a good feel for it. If you want to be a guest on Live with Bottleneck, not a weekend review, but a Live with Bottleneck that happens every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Central, you can scroll down to the bottom of that page and it says, I want to be a guest. And then you can go look at all the information there to give you set all of your expectations, answer all of your questions, see whether or not you'd be a good fit to be a guest on. And we'd love to have you, or maybe we wouldn't if you're that person. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to go work on sound levels for my dinosaur roar and my dinosaur footsteps.
Hi, Ann Baker.
Hi, Ann. How are you? How's Montana?
So, and then you're going to go what? Dinosaurs?
Yeah, I'm going to work on my video. I've got to change the volume levels of dinosaur foots. That's one audio clip. The dinosaur roar, that's another audio clip. My video.
Oh, boy.
Plus my audio.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. So I am writing a book. It's called Quit Repeating Yourself. No, this is not the cover. If you want that one, I can show you that one. And the Indiegogo campaign is done. Thank you to everybody. Although we didn't hit 100% of our goal, we did pretty dang close. I think we got 93% or something like that. So it was considered a success from Indiegogo. So the book is going through, which is really neat. So Quit Repeating Yourself is a book that will be coming out in September. I've just sent it out to the beta readers, so we're super excited about getting that feedback. Then round 2 revisions will happen. I've also been greenlit for the cover, so I've gotten all the stuff assembled for the cover. Met with the design team yesterday, so they're going to be doing that. If you're in my author circle, if you were part of the group of people that helped me raise money for the book on the Indiegogo campaign, not only will we be getting a copy of the book or a signed copy of the book or several signed copies of the book, thanks. But you're also going to be helping me pick the cover, which is, I think it'll be a lot of fun. That's going to happen in July. And then in August, we send it off to the copy editor. So we're hands off at that point, where they lay it out and do all that stuff. In July and August, that's what's happening. And then, first week of September.
And he's ahead of schedule.
Yeah, I'm ahead of schedule.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty excited about that. So what is coming soon to the earbuds?
Well, I think it's Seeley Smith with CEO of Sales Fuel. Sales credibility, how buyers qualify you. Oh, that's interesting. I'd love to hear what Seeley Smith says. And that's on Tuesday, June 1st. When you come back from Memorial Day, tune in at 2 p.m. Central or 3 p.m. Eastern time. Find out what Seeley Smith says.
Yep, we'll be live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and good old YouTube. And if you are on any of these while you're watching us live, I'd love to hear from you, ask questions, whatever we can do, because that makes it more interactive, makes it a little bit more fun, and be happy to do that. If you're watching during the replay and you ask a question, don't worry, I get notified. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, when you subscribe to our YouTube channel, also click on the little bell icon in the upper right hand. And by doing that, what that'll do is it'll alert you every time. It'll put a little message in your YouTube channel every time we put in new videos. And we do quite a bit of videos. I mean, hundreds of them are in there right now. And we do 2 to 3 a week. Usually. So, that's about it. Anything else?
So everybody have a safe and happy and fun weekend. In the state of Missouri, they have removed all road construction over the entire weekend. So there'll be no lane closures unless they are permanent for safety reasons.
Yep.
So that's pretty amazing. Good job,
And
MoDOT.
As of the 27th, Greene County, the final county in all of Missouri, decided to lift their mask mandate. So no more masks.
Yep.
Unless the business still says yes.
Yep.
There's some places that still require it.
And
But
some people, they feel safer with one. So, wear it if you want.
to each their own.
Yep.
So what's the Memorial Day song? Happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day.
To us and
To us.
you.
So so there's Veterans Day. That's for people who have hung up the uniform. Is it
Labor Day.
No, there's Military Appreciation Day, and that's for the people that haven't hung up the uniform. And there's Memorial Day for the people that didn't get a chance to hang up their uniform. And so I want to say thank you to everybody that has served in the military. Thank you for keeping this land free. And just a quick memorial to thank all of those veterans, all of those in the military, and all of those that didn't make it home. That's what today's all about. And in celebration of that on Monday, everybody gets to have fun. Yes, remember that we wouldn't be here without our fallen soldiers, but we get to celebrate because what they did gave us our freedom, and that is cause for celebration. So that is my words and my thoughts.
You got me all choked up there.
Yeah. Well, we love you. Thank you so much. Remember, create your own ripple, and happy Memorial Day. Talk to you soon.